Thanks so much for watching those last few videos. I just kind of wanted to make this final one just to kind of recap the few different strategies that I provided for drawing these black lines the best as they enter a color code. So the first of which is up here, which is where the code and the lines are perfect, the robot runs over that but doesn't execute the code. Remember, my tip there was related to the darkness of the line and the student calibration. So the fix is to take your marker, to trace over just a couple of inches before that color code, and then try again. This is going to make that line darker. The robot knows it's on a color code, or on a black line, then it reads the color code correctly. My second tip for that was to check with the students' calibration circles to make sure that they're dark or light and that they match the color of the track is the most important part, so that the robot knows it's reading a black line. So check the calibration dot. My suggestion for your classroom is to use page 10 to print these, 10 of the color coding guide, to print these little calibration circles out, have them around the room, tape them to the desks, whatever it may be. Put them in students' folders. That way they can, or you as a teacher or an adult, can draw the calibration circle so that students don't have to worry about drawing that, and you don't have to worry about them drawing it too dark or a different shade than the color code track. So definitely a handy resource to have out and about around the room. The second tip is related to the line thickness as it enters into the color code. So you're going to want it to be in between 4 to 6 millimeters, give or take a few little millimeters here and there, so that the robot knows to look for color codes. So again, the fix there is to take your marker and retrace the entry line so that it's around the 4 to 6 millimeters, and send your robot down again so that it reads the color code. In the worst case scenario, if you have a situation where you just simply cannot get a code to cooperate, what I always use in workshops and PDs are little address labels. You can get them at any store. These can just be peeled off, and they can act as what I call an Ozobot Band-Aid. You can stick it over the color code. Students can then draw a new code. So let's imagine my first fix didn't work. Can draw a new color code. I like to use the skinny side of the marker to draw an outline of the box, and then I just lightly shade in the rest of it. And then this gives the student a chance to make a nice new black line that'll enter the color code. Oops. See, I'm going to make that quick fix right there. I feel like it'll work, but I'm just going to make it rounded off, make it nice and square. So send the robot down. Those address labels are super thin, so they won't have an effect on the way the robot rolls. Except for when you don't stick it down all the way and the wheels kick up and knock it off. So I got to go backwards and do a tornado code. Either way, please reach out with any questions that you have. You can reach out to our support line, which is support@ozobot.com, and they'll kind of walk you through some different tips and tricks. If you have a certain code that's not working with your robot, I definitely recommend that you take a picture of it or a video of the robot executing the code. Otherwise, without that picture, all we can really do is send our color code guide to have you kind of reference it yourself. So if you want the best coaching, send a picture and a video. Happy coding.